Awit na lang si Darpa. Tingnan ang view. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Yes. What I want?
So hello guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for the support you've shown us in the last few videos. I had this brand new idea. I was craving some baked chicken recently, but I'm actually thinking of doing like an oven jerk chicken style. Now it's not truly jerk if you don't grill it outside, but it's gonna be an amazing jerk flavor on the chicken. So I'm gonna be making that for you guys today, and you guys can look and see what's going on. So I'm being excited for that.
Yeah man, we'll want that. So guys, here's my pot on the stove. I'm going to do some white rice. So just get my pot on the stove. When we finish, I'm going to wash the rice and put it in the pot. So stay tuned for that. Guys, here's my rice. Yes, I'm going to wash it to get it into the pot. So yeah, we have the first water strainer. And I'm going to wash it 2 more times. Yeah guys, so this is the last wash now. I may have some people to big up, you know. The African people, them strongly believe in the African people, and they really support me. So thanks guys to all of my people who support me, both African and everywhere across the world. Thank you so much for everything. So that is it guys. Yeah, so may I get my rice in the pot now guys. So I'm gonna get my salt into the pot now. So guys, I'm going to get my butter in the pot now. And I'm going to give it a stir. Yeah. So I'm going to cover my rice now and allow it to cook.
Alright, so here I have some chicken guys. I am going to show you exactly how I like to cut it up when I'm using the oven. You could do this as a whole chicken, but it's going to take a lot more time. So I rather just have it in parts. I'm going to show you exactly how you should cut these parts. Alright, so generally if you buy a chicken parts in Jamaica, this is what it'll look like. So I'm starting off with the leg portion of the chicken. One of the things I really like to do is remove any excess fat under the skin right here, because you tend to have some fat buildup right here, so I just remove that. I know a lot of people don't remove those pieces, but you don't need to opt for extra fat on your meat for flavoring. Fat does give flavor, that's why fatty food tends to have more flavor compared to a salad or, let's say, any form of food that is cooked without, say, oil or butter. Now I like to also scrape my meat and make sure I get off any excess feathers that are left on. I know a lot of people don't do this, but they really should. Because I've been to restaurants sometimes and I see where the feather is left on the meat. If I see that, I'm not eating the food. I'm sorry. I can't do it. But yeah, once you're leaving the skin on the chicken, there's no need for a lot of excess fat on your meat. You can just leave a few pockets of fat and that's fine. You don't need your meat drowning in fat. So like I said, I'm just removing the excess feathers. And that's done for that section. So what I'm gonna actually do now is score my chicken. So just making some cuts right along here of the chicken. And on the other side as well. What this does, it allows the seasoning to seep into the chicken a lot more. Also helps it to cook faster. So that's it for my leg. Moving on to the actual thigh now. So I like to cut off these flimsy parts of the meat. I don't eat them. I think they just have an odd texture when they're cooked. So I cut that off. And this is a lot of excess skin too, so I don't really want that in my food. You cut this end portion off. And once again, check for excess feathers. You really want to pluck those off or scrape them off. Alright, and for this back portion right here, you want to scrape out all of this that you see here. Some people leave it in, but I don't think that's necessary for the flavoring of your meat. I don't think this tastes good on meat if you cook it with that in it. Yeah, so I ensure all of that's out and remove some of the fat in the pocket area right here of the back. Like I said, you only need to leave a little bit of fat on your meat. You don't need huge amounts of fat on your meat. Now for the thigh portions, you're usually going to see a long line of fat along this area right here. I like to take off some of that and just leave a thin strip of it on there, just like this. Now, because this is the thigh meat, the skin generally covers pretty much all the surface area. So what I'm going to do is just score it as is, but make sure to keep your skin firm in place once you're doing this. You need to hold it down and make sure it's in the correct positioning and it's covering all the meat. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the thigh portion. Oh, forgot to mention, I like to also break this down somewhat. So this is as a means of flattening it somewhat, because you'll notice that it was up like this before, but once I cut it, you can flatten it down a bit more. So it'll fit better into your pan. Now for the wings, I don't do much except the same thing, you know, checking for excess feathers. and scraping those off. I like to separate my wing by this little section right here. So once again, it's so you can fit this better in the pan. You don't want certain areas of your meat to be sticking upward. And I square this as well. And there is some excess fat under this section as well. So I like to remove that. And I give this a few scores along where the bone is. And that's it. And now for the breast portion. Usually comes like this with the rib attached to it, with a section of the rib attached to it. So what I like to do is actually cut off a piece of the breast first, like the thicker portion right here. So this is what it will look like. For this section right here, you're gonna keep the skin on, but trim away excess pieces of the skin, like that. Now because this is the breast portion, I don't really need it to cook faster per se. So I'm just going to be leaving it like this, but cutting it in half just to make it easier to fit into the pan. So this is what we're left with for the actual flesh section of the breast. So for this part right now, trim away the excess fat. I'm gonna actually separate this. So there's this bone right in between here that separates the rib from the actual breastbone. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut along here. And there's your separation. So I'm also going to cut this in half for the sake of making it fit better in my pan. So I like to just give this a quick chop because it's quite tough here. Alright, and there we have it. And we're just going to clean out the grooves in between the rib aspect of this. So in between the bones, you just want to make sure that it's clean. Alright, and I'm going to lift the skin up so you guys can see this part. There's always a line of fat right here that I like to remove some of it. Like I said, you don't want too much excess fat on your meat. You want just enough to give it flavor, but not too much to the point where it's overwhelming. Alright, and that's it. So I'm going to be cleaning the other pieces and showing you guys how I'm going to season this up afterwards, so stay tuned. Alright, so here I have my meat. This is after cutting it up. What I'm actually going to do is just wash it. And for washing it, I like to use some vinegar. And a little lime juice. And like I mentioned before, there's been a lot of debate about whether or not you should wash your chicken according to various health groups and all that. But what people misunderstand is this isn't for the purpose of getting bacteria off your chicken. Usually when you cook meat, that kills the bacteria. This is simply to get off that gamey flavor. And to get off these little pieces of the chicken you see floating around in the water, like these pieces right here, that's on my fingers. So it's really just to clean off certain aspects of the chicken so that when you cook it, it's also, vinegar helps with tenderizing. So when you cook it, it's going to have a nicer flavor. You're not going to get that extremely raw or super raw taste to it. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you go to certain restaurants, if you taste the chicken, there's a really strong raw flavor to it, even if it's properly cooked. And that's generally because a lot of people don't wash their meat. After draining that off, we're going to give it 2 more washes with just water. And I guarantee you guys are going to love this recipe. I always encourage you guys to try it out whatever I cook. I'm going to be posting actual measurements for the things I cook pretty soon. Reasoning why I don't really use measurements when I'm cooking. If you're from the Caribbean, you know this. People don't really measure anything unless they're baking. And some are so great they don't even need to measure when they're baking. So basically, you just season until your ancestors say that's enough. Okay, that's enough. So a lot of us, when we start cooking, we generally just get an idea of how much to actually use. Alright, and you want to make sure this is drained properly. And there we are. We're actually going to pat these dry with a paper towel as well. One of the things people forget to mention about meat is if it's full of water when you're seasoning it, the seasoning will not necessarily stick to the chicken as best as if it were dry. So unless you're doing a brine, there shouldn't be any water residue on your meat. Alright guys, so we're actually going to be making our marinade right now. What we're going to use for it is just some purple onion, some white onion, a bell pepper, 2 scotch bonnets, 1 green, 1 yellow, thyme, scallion, 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to also be adding some pimento seeds, some soy sauce, some browning, a little oil, some lime juice, and this beautiful bottle right here. So we're going to be adding in some of our Worthy Park Select Jamaican rum to that. So we're just going to add everything in our blender right now so we can get it blending. Just going to chop these a bit smaller, make the blenders drop easier. going to be adding a little bit of sugar to counteract the spiciness and balance everything out. So we're just going to be adding all those in. And this marinade is pretty much perfect for cooking chicken in any way. If you like a bit of spice to your chicken, but also having that nice balanced out flavor. So because this is a small bell pepper, I'm just going to be using all of it. If you guys have a bigger one, just use a half or a quarter of it. Now for my thyme, like I said, I only use the leaves, guys, so I'm going to be stripping those leaves off into my blender. And you want a decent amount of thyme for this, so I'm going to be stripping off probably a half of this. And it's pretty easy, you just pull these off. Alright, so that's the perfect amount for now. Gonna add in my scotch bonnets. Gonna remove the stem portion of it, along with the seeds. I don't want this to be too spicy this time around, because I'm cooking so everyone can eat, and not everyone prefers the spicy food like I do. So today I'm just catering so that everyone can really enjoy the food as is without having to worry about any spice. So if you do it like this, it will just be a really nice flavor from the scotch bonnet. It's not going to be too spicy, but it's going to have that hint of spice. Like these. Alright, so to my blender, I'm adding a little touch of vinegar. About like a half a teaspoon of lime juice. You don't need too much of that. And like I mentioned beforehand, this rum is really strong. So I'm only going to be using like half a capful of it for this particular purpose. Some soy sauce. Now this gives flavor and a bit of color to your meat. And some browning. The browning is strictly for color. This part. Like I said, a little sugar. And some vegetable oil. So there we have it for our actual marinade. So I'm just gonna blend. Alright, so we're pretty much done blending our marinade. This is what it should look like when you're finished. And it has a wonderful smell as well, guys. So I'm just gonna clear off my counter and I'm gonna come back and show you guys exactly how I season the meat. Alright, so here we have our chicken. We're just gonna hit it with some powdered seasoning. Like I always mention, guys, it's really whatever you like, you can use on it. So yeah, for me, I actually really love Maggi seasoning. It's what a lot of you have been asking me which one of the seasonings I use. It's generally the all-purpose and chicken Maggi seasoning powders. So now we're just adding in some black pepper. I want to get that nice and cool. So yeah, you want to get a decent amount of black pepper on there, just for that smoky flavor as well. I also like to use the jerk season. So this one, it isn't really salty, but it really gives a nice jerk flavor to the meat. And there's this new seasoning Mom bought recently. It's called Season to the Bone. I'm gonna be trying it out for the first time, so I'll give you a review on that as well. So when I get seasonings that are new, I like to smell them and give it a little taste. Alright, so this smells similar to like the soup mixes you would get at the corner shop. And I see some pepper flakes in it. Alright, so based on how this tastes, it does have a touch of saltiness to it. So I'm not going to use a lot, but I'm probably going to use like maybe a quarter pack of this. So yeah, that's good. I want to really assess that. Now I'm going to be adding on my beautiful marinade right here. Ooh. This is looking really nice, guys. And it smells fantastic. So I'm just trying to get everything out of the blender. As much of it as I possibly can. And it's okay if some residue is left over, because we're actually going to be rinsing that out and using it later on. So yeah, what we're going to do now is just mix everything in. This is smelling amazing, you guys. I wish you guys could smell this right now. Ooh. Ooh. So this is really looking lovely, as you guys can see so far. I really want to make sure I get the seasoning all over the meat and into those sections that I scored that I told you about. I'm going to make sure we seep our seasoning into those areas. And yeah, once we're finished mixing, we're gonna leave this to marinate for, I'm gonna go with 2 hours for this because I really want this to soak in really well. So yeah, 2 hours max. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna set this up for going into my oven. So see you guys then.
Yes guys, I do on the work, you know. I do some net repairs there. I check in for Whitney at the kitchen and all, you know. So she going to do some baked chicken today. So I never get to see the seasoning process, but once. So I go on in the plate here. Yeah. Jesus. Guys, I smell it already. Hey. I smell some my jerk season, Bunny.
Yeah man, so it's my own special blend.
Yes guys.
So it's an oven jerk style chicken.
Yeah. That is it guys. Guys, I can smell this. Look.
So this is after marinating it for the 2 hours, guys.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna be adding it to my dish, and I'm gonna put it in the oven.
Guys, we can't wait. That is it, guys. Yeah.
Alright, guys. So I'm just gonna be greasing my dish right here. It's just using a regular glass dish. I'm just using butter. You can use non-stick spray, but I find that butter gives it much more of a decent flavor. It tastes really good. And again, this is also why I say you don't need too much excess fat on your chicken, because you're using so many different things to add flavor to the chicken. You don't really need the excess fat. So I'm just gonna be moving these and laying them out in my dish like so. And as I was saying earlier, this is exactly why I cut my thighs underneath. So you can see how flat they lay in the pan. Alright, so I'm going to be using another dish for the rest of my chicken. But once you lay everything out, this is what it should look like. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have some seasoning left over. What you want to do is take a pastry brush, and you're going to brush this on the tops of these. So what we're actually going to do, after leaving these in the oven for a certain amount of time, we're going to check in on them at like half an hour intervals, and we're going to keep coating them with this sauce that's left over. We're going to rinse out the amount that's in our blender and also add it to this as well. So yeah, I'm going to be adding this to my oven right now. Alright guys, so I already have my oven preheating. I forgot to mention that to you guys. I use degrees Celsius on this particular stove. So you can do from a range of 175 to 220 degrees Celsius. It all depends on how often you're going to have the time to look at your chicken and really check in on it. But I like to use a good 209 degrees Celsius. So that's where I have my stove set at. And I'm going to put in my chicken now. So yeah, we're gonna leave that to cook, and like I said, we're gonna be checking in on that at like half an hour intervals. and just make sure to spread more of that seasoning on the meat. That's how you're gonna really get that nice flavor and coating on the chicken. Alright, so this is what our chicken looks like after half an hour in the oven. So I'm just gonna brush on more of my sauce onto it, like I mentioned to you guys earlier. Really getting that nice flavor incorporated into our meat. Want to make sure you get all of that on there. This also helps to keep the chicken moist so it doesn't dry out too much while it's in the oven. But yeah, so far our chicken is looking amazing. Alright, so I'm going to be putting these back into the oven and letting them cook. Then I'm going to check in again in the next half an hour. This is after the next 30 minutes. I'm just going to flip these over. Then I'm going to baste the other side and put them back in the oven. Ooh, I wish you guys could smell this right now. Like, yo. Hold up, I really need someone else to smell this. Mommy! Come here for a second.
What smells so? What smells so sweet in it?
What do you think?
I want one in it.
What do you think, Mommy?
What you do today?
It is the oven jerked chicken. So right now I'm just flipping them over. So baste them again with the sauce. Come on, Smelly. And tell me what you think. To put them back in the oven.
And what kind of seasoning is that? Why, this is going nice today, you know, guys. It's all really good today. The smell make me know.
Yeah, man. So it's my special seasoning along with some other seasoning funny. It done all work already. So yeah, I'm just getting the sauce on them, then I'm gonna put them back in the oven. Women look like she don't want to leave it just to stop there. Smell this.
Smell nice. Guys, I don't want to taste some of this.
Let me see you. She stand up right here.
I don't want to
Aesthetics
taste
in my
some of
ears.
this, guys. Smell nice. Bad.
So one thing that we're going to introduce on the channel actually for you guys to be able to come and actually taste the food that we have here. So you can call our number. It's usually going to be on a Saturday or a Sunday when we're available, and we can pretty much cook you guys anything you'd like, and the price all depends on what you want. And we do it pretty reasonable compared to many other places in Jamaica. So if you guys want to find out more about that, you can just call the number in the description. I'm also going to put it on the screen later when we're ending the video so you guys can see that. So yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the chicken escapades.
Yes, guys, and you're not going to be disappointed. When you taste it, yeah man, you're not going to be disappointed. When you taste it, you will know what we're talking about.
Alright, so because this one was in a different material pan, it finished quicker. But yeah, this is what it's gonna look like when it comes out of the oven, guys. I am telling you from now, I wish you guys could really smell this. If you could, you'd understand just how much flavor is in this right now. So I'm gonna get Mom, and then we're gonna plate our food and give you guys a review of how everything tastes.
So guys, we're ready for the plating of the food now.
smelling the chicken, mommy?
Chicken bad, me smell it. I tear off my nose here, guys.
Yeah. Keep waiting on me run back in and now. Yeah. Catch a plate and everything today.
Guys, didn't catch a pot this week.
Yeah. One of all kind of thing. Yeah. Must see. That
So you're
is
careful with that one, it's hot.
it. Yeah,
Here?
that's it. I'll go to the kitchen now. Yeah. That's what I know, guys. So early.
Alright, so look at that right there, guys. Can't wait to eat some.
Very bad. Mash up the eyes on.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, as you can see, we're around the table. I'm really excited to try this. I want to show you guys, I actually have some sauce here that you can use on the actual rice as a gravy. Whatever you want to use, you can use it on the chicken as well. If you guys want to see a recipe for that next time, you can comment it down below.
Yes, guys. Use that already now with on the rice the last time we have go on the road, you know. Whitney special. Yeah. Special sauce so Whitney make to use for your white rice. You can use for anything you want still. Or use it on the white rice. Yeah. Because we don't use too much for green with the oil, you know, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have some Sprite here that we're going to drink with our food actually. But I'm going to be adding some lime wedges to mine. If you guys have never tried that before, you should definitely give it a try.
Yep.
It's really good with the Sprite.
One of the wedges on my one here. Yeah. You don't have to squeeze it out, you know, guys. Just drop him in there. Yeah, the lime wedge. So guys, we are going to start it, but listen now, how blessed food, you know. Thank you again for another moment, Father in heaven. Yeah, it's that time again when we're going to partake of some food. We thank you for the blessing upon it so that we can have it. Yes, God, yes, Lord, and we thank you for helping us to prepare this food. And we thank you for the farmers as well. Lord, we ask that you provide for those who don't have this evening so that they can enjoy life here on earth. Lord, we thank you for this food again. Amen.
Amen.
Lord and God. Yeah. So, I'm part of the edit my prayer. Yes, guys, we are telling us the center kill me. The chicken center kill me.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I want you guys to actually try the chicken first and tell me what you think.
Yeah. Look at the sauce. I can't love the sauce anymore, guys. Yeah, last time we make it go up on my rice, you know. Yeah. Don't know if it's like I love the sauce. But she don't love barbecue sauce and like me, guys. So, you know, if she want to put a little bit right beside this and then sample
Yeah,
it
I'm
first.
going to try it because I'm not a fan
That
of.
barbecue sauce.
Just a try a little bit.
Yes.
Try the chicken.
Yeah.
Try the chicken. You need to
Yeah.
try the chicken.
Yeah. Chicken time now, guys. Yeah. That one your drumstick style. I'm going to try.
I'll be right back.
Guys, eat again nasi eh. Actually, so be a chicken with me. Oh, yeah. Oven jerk chicken, guys. Yeah. With this sauce bad. I'm tell you Whitney, you have kept some blend here, you know. Ready make barbecue sauce, guys. Where are this buy? I've not know about Whitney's one. It's a wicked blend. And she showed me how to do it, you know, it's a simple blend, guys. But I kept that in my recipe then. Yeah. Very simple and easy. Nice. Yeah. Guys, I'm put the Sprite I made like this. And smell the lemon and go some. Then actually taste the lemon. Bad. Bad, guys. Yeah.
So guys, remember we telling in our previous video that anything you see we cook that you like, you can order it. Just call and tell me what you want.
Yeah, man.
That's with me, I go on good.
And you
Anything what you want, you call me and order it and you will have it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm disregarding the fork completely. You can't eat them with fork.
You like my chicken in the back.
And must have seasoned down to the bone, guys.
The chicken sweet, tell me can't talk.
I think that tastes like jerk pork. Right? Awesome.
Like I mentioned before, guys, this is the result of basting it consistently while it's in the oven.
Oh.
It's very, very tender. So the skin is crisp on the
That's why
outside,
it's so juicy
but the
inside.
meat is tender.
Soft and juicy. That's why I say about bake hour.
Yeah, because you realize when I go to most jerk places like jerk centers, the meat tends to be dried out some of the time. With this way, even your breast will be tender and moist.
But if we can't hold the left down by the finger, I don't know. Really sorry. You know, normally look so appropriate based on what we used to. But we can't lift down by the finger then. Sorry, we're not going to waste any today. Guys, this is really good.
Alright, so can I just, if I added any store-bought sauce to that?
Bueno, because like I said, we can't even, guys, we can't even turn the water upon the chicken. We must take having the jerk flavor.
Like I said, it's my own special blend, along with the powdered seasonings.
From me I go out and not eat chicken. I never eat nothing like this.
No, yeah, you're not going to tell you that because you know there's no way.
There's a secret ingredient though, that most people don't include in their jerk sauce.
Oh.
Again, guess what it is? Alright, so you realize I have a little pan to it, right? Look on the table and tell me which one of them it is.
Oh.
You already passed.
Yeah, when you're ready back. Oh. I'm not just can't tell you guys them what kind of taste like nothing where they know. I want to know. You don't think so? Guys, actually in some of the World Park special rum. Awesome.
So the reason why I use it in the sauce, guys, beer and rum gives a really nice flavor to jerk meat.
Yeah.
So you can actually sprinkle it while it's cooking, but I prefer to add it to the sauce when it's being marinated and everything. So that flavor really gets down in there. And it blends really well with the other seasonings that are blended out. So it won't be overpowering to the dish, but it will add such a nice flavor to it.
And the spice just right, not too hot. Just nice.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier to them. If you want the spice to be at a level where it's just the flavoring and it's not too spicy, you add the skin of the Scotch bonnets. You don't add the seeds.
Oh.
So that's what I did and added bell pepper.
Oh. Like them say, the soda is not so good for you, but one thing you can do, guys, is shake out the carbonic acid gas and release it out of it. And you can put overnight, you can cut a slice of pineapple, put in here, and a twist of lime in your soda, your favorite soda. I'm not recommending Pepsi or Coca-Cola, but most of the other flavored soda them.
Alright, so the next tray is out, guys.
Whoa, look at that. Man.
Yeah, so these are gonna be for later.
Chicken for days. That is it. As I open me oven, look where they're not different scent take me in here now with me. Why? That is it. Yeah. If I follow this lime flavored soda, you guys end up drinking too much. Guys, I'm sorry that some of you guys weren't here today. So we could share this meal together. It is wonderful. The chicken is out of this world. I don't know where it comes from. Boy, I tell you.
So yeah, if you guys will notice, a lot of the things I cook, they tend to be inspired with traditional base level things, but I like adding my own twist to it. The unique flavoring that comes together when you add your own twist to things really stands out. So I can guarantee if you taste my food, you will say you've never tasted anything like it before. I can guarantee that much. So for those of you who would like to come down and try the food, we are located in Station Lane, Old Harbour Bay, St. Catherine, Jamaica. And yeah, like I mentioned before, the number that you'd have to call to get through to us is 316-8138.
876 the code.
So 876-316-8138. Also, I remember a lot of people have been asking me how they can send donations to me or whatever they like. There will be a PayPal link in the description, so if you guys want to check that out, you're free to do so. And thank you so much to those who have already donated. Big up to Miss Wendy Lane. Thank you so much. You've been here since day one, and you've always encouraged me, always watched our videos and supported us. So yeah, I just want to say a huge big up to you. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Big up Christmas this anyway there. Colors, go and hold it in Panama, say, you know, go and hold the team together. Yeah, man, bless up Jamaica in beauty down there too.
Yeah, man, I'm really loving the Panama videos.
Yeah, man, them hot, man. And Chris, when you get you a Sudan, I get a problem, them are stopping from film and film kind of thing, but hope your papers then come through. Yeah, by the time you see this video, it will come through all the same. Yes, guys. Yeah, so big up YouTuber brethren them all around the place, Mackie and Cabo.
Family TV,
Yeah, Queen Sheba
Sheba
TV.
African people.
Yeah man,
Everything.
strong man, Marwa, T, the village cook, big up on yourself man. Mini, big up on yourself, all the guys down there, big up on yourself down there. Yeah man, it's a great pleasure guys. Yes, all for one guys and one for all. Yes man, that is it guys. Yeah, so guys, I want to send a special shout out to Uncle Leroy. In a long time I hear me shout him out, but Uncle Leroy about seeing you guys. Bless up yourself, Uncle Leroy, I know you're there. That is it. Yeah, I know you're there, but you know, just really cool man. Time everything.
I have to show you guys.
Yes,
this
guys.
as well. Look at how easily this breaks apart. And this is the breast of the chicken.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. It's usually dry.
Yeah, all is dry and
Look at how easy this breaks apart. And it's fully cooked.
yeah man. Yeah.
So when I tell you guys this is amazing, it's really amazing.
Guys, Dream Island Mistress can't eat fast, you know. So, and she now hold no meat now, and we don't know why. I'm afraid to hold my chicken now. Thank you very much, man.
She's stush.
If I ancient days, not even fried chicken, you know how I eat. Yes, guys. Guys, now we know what it means when we say, for health and strength and daily food, we praise thy name, O Lord. Amen. From our school, you know, we used to respect that prayer there, from basic school, you know. But you see the health and strength part and daily food, and that's all you need to exist on the earth, you know. Health and strength and daily food. Yeah, man. And the second part is for food, friends and fellowship. We praise thy name, O Lord. Amen. Guys, at that time again we have to leave on, you know. Yeah. So we can tell them how to close out.
Yeah, I have to finish chewing first, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And catch you in the next one.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.